Alright, so thank you guys for being here. Do you mind if I lower this just a little bit? We're social distance, for the record. But my name is Daniel Williams. I'm one of the personal trainers here at the Mandela Fitness Center. I'm also a group exercise instructor, so I've kind of grown up in the exercise realm. I have my master's in exercise physiology, went to Florida Atlantic University and studied there. And now I'm here and I get the honor of giving this presentation to you guys. So this is something that's pretty passionate for me, strength training and exercise in general, but I'm happy to share this information with you. So what's what? Use it or lose it. Today we're talking about strength training. So just to give a little overview of what we'll be talking about today, a couple talking points. So we're going to start off talking just what is strength training, pretty basic introduction here. Some of it might be very familiar to you if you've been in the realm of strength training or in the gym before. So some of it might be a little bit elementary, but we're going to cover those basics anyway. We're going to talk about how to benefit from it, a couple common questions that kind of float around the fitness realm, and then we're going to talk about how you can get started, some tips along the way, and a couple advanced techniques without getting too deep in the weeds. So what is it? My simple definition here, but in very layman's terms, strength training is any method of exercise with the intention of improving bodily strength. This isn't just muscular, we think about just muscles, but it's going to refer to the ligaments, the joints, the connective tissue, such as those, pretty much everything within the body, the bones, everything. So any form of exercise, it's not just one avenue that's going to get you there. So there's a couple examples here. Body weight, free weight, such as dumbbells and barbells are going to get you there. Machines are excellent. Bands, functional tools such as kettlebells or the battle ropes that are down there, those will also help out with strength training. And even forms of exercise such as HIIT, high intensity interval training, and Pilates, those will also incorporate some facets of strength training into it. So there's all different avenues, no one particular way to skin the cat, but all different approaches you can take. So kind of elementary here, but some common terms that kind of float around the gym that you are probably familiar with or maybe not so much. But just to start off, reps and sets, so that's just talking about performing the actual exercise. So reps being within one group, so how many of an exercise are you doing, repetitions, are you doing 2, are you doing 6, are you doing 20, and any repetition. And then sets are going to be the groups of repetitions, so you say I'm going to do 2 rounds of 6 reps, and that's basically saying I'm doing 2 sets of those 6 reps. So just kind of how to describe what you'd be performing in the gym. A split is a common term that's used in the gym. That's basically just describing your week progression, what you're going to do, say if you're doing an upper body day on a Monday, lower body day on a Wednesday, and a total body day on a Friday. That's just how you would describe how you're breaking up your exercise essentially. So people kind of talk about all different sorts of splits. You're doing a max upper, max lower, dynamic upper, dynamic lower. We're doing, HIIT one day, we're doing yoga another day. All these different approaches and forms just describe the split that you're doing in the gym. So how you break it up. Other contributing factors, so when we think strength training, we kind of think just going into the gym and pumping iron, which is great, but we have to understand that there's definitely going to be other contributing factors, just like pretty much anything else in life. If you want to be exceeding to the fullest, we want to consider other facets that will impact it. So diet, regardless of your diet, if you're ketogenic, if you're carnivore, if you're intermittent fasting, whatever it is, that doesn't matter quite as much as long as you have a consistent diet that works for you. So we're not going to talk too much about what's best for that, but something that you can adhere to and that you can feel like it's nourishing the body so you're performing well in the gym. Right? Sleep, I think we all know it's important, and hopefully during these COVID times we've been able to catch up a little bit because we've been home so much, but obviously getting a full night of sleep is going to help you perform well in the gym as well. Managing stress, this is going to be work stress, family stress, pandemic stress, pretty much anything going on in life. Managing that can definitely help performance in the gym, and even using the gym as an outlet for that stress. So sometimes you can go in there and think, man, I've just been so frustrated all day, but now I'm here in the gym, finally I can kind of work that out. So kind of a two-way approach to manage stress, but also you can use the gym as an outlet for the stress. And then recovery kind of encompasses the 3 points just before that, so it just kind of combines all 3 of those and how you take care of your body outside the gym and after a workout. So are you getting a good meal afterwards? Are you sleeping well that night? Are you drinking plenty of water? All those different components. So it's important not to think of strength training as one individual component, but more of a tree with a lot of branches that feed into that trunk. So why should you care? In very short terms, it's going to impact your quality of life, right? We think of strength training, it's going to improve muscular strength, hopefully, that's why we're doing it in the first place, but more so than that, it's going to improve bone health, it's going to improve heart health. Mental health is a huge one, I think, right now. I put that in bold because I think that deserves a little bit of emphasis, especially with everything that's going on. We don't need to really explain because we understand everyone's dealing with all these different stresses. Anxiety has been up recently, depression has been up recently, and very sadly, suicide has also been up due to the pandemic. So mental health should be the first and foremost thing that we want to take care of. And I found this really interesting. So a recent systematic review just in 2019, this is a quote I pulled directly from them. So they looked at a whole bunch of different studies looking at people with exercise and how exercise affects their mental attitude and just overall viewpoint on life. And they found that as little as 10 minutes of physical activity per week, or even just one day of exercise per week, showed improvements in happiness. So at the very least, if we're not getting stronger, we're not improving our bones, at least we're happier. And really, that should be one of the main takeaways from what we're doing in the gym. It's improving our own quality of life. And then community, I think, is a good one to mention as well. A lot of people, when they join a gym, they'll find that it's kind of a surprise to them of how much of the community is there. So Orange Theory Fitness is a great example. CrossFit's a great example. But even coming in here, Mandel Recreation Center, you'll see some familiar faces, you meet friendships, maybe partnerships. Having that sense of community can be really fulfilling, not only personally, but it'll help you in staying motivated to continue coming to the gym. So all sorts of reasons why you should care, really. So some common questions, some kind of things that float around in the gym and online. Online is just a mosh pit of theories and questions, and will this work, or it worked great for me, so it's going to work great for everybody. So here's just a couple of the more common questions. So how much is enough? Well, we just saw that just 10 minutes of physical activity per week can improve happiness. But in terms of improving strength, this is a recommendation provided by ACSM, so the Academy of Sports Medicine is providing this as a recommendation for truly improving strength. So they're saying 2 days per week, non-consecutively, so say a Tuesday and a Thursday, for example, of one set of 8 to 12 reps for each major muscle group. So it's saying chest, you're doing your quads, your hamstrings. So that's kind of a minimal dose. I would personally say something is going to be better than nothing, regardless of if it's 1 day a week or 1 day every other week, or if you're doing one set of 5 to 10 reps. These are just kind of general numbers, but by ACSM standards, they're recommending 2 days per week of 8 to 12 reps for each muscle group. So is it safe? This is a big question. Is it safe for children? Will it stunt their growth? That's kind of a big myth. And thankfully, it is just a myth. It doesn't actually show to stunt their growth in the long run. However, the same with elderly and pregnant women. We'll see that it's important to have more consideration for the exercise. So it is safe, yes, for children, but that probably doesn't mean we should rush into throwing a ton of weight on their back. We should still focus on technique and having them enjoy the process so that they don't get burnt out by the time they're 12 years old, and then they don't want to exercise for the rest of their life. So it is safe. For the elderly, yes, also safe, and possibly even more important for the elderly as we get older, right? We want to make sure that we're maintaining that bone health, our muscular health, our functionality, just through daily activities. Climbing up the stairs, right? So if you're doing squats or doing lunges, we can kind of imagine how that would translate to just something as simple as that, or stepping out of the car. So just having that functional strength as we get older is definitely crucial. Pregnant women, this is another kind of myth that floats around, right? Is it safe for pregnant women? In short, yes, it is. Again, you might want to have some more considerations with it. Not everybody is going to want to go and jump into some crazy new program right as soon as they get pregnant. Many women are already in that realm. Powerlifting or CrossFit athletes, for example, might have already been in some sort of routine. And it's shown to be pretty safe to continue that, especially for the lower back muscles. You can imagine having all that weight now on the front side, having the strength in the back especially is a good way to continue strength training. So it's really safe for everybody, but maybe have a little bit more consideration for some of those populations. So will it make me bulky? This is a big question I've gotten quite a few times. Not just from women either. Women they generally tend to be concerned with getting bulky, but men also have expressed that concern, I've heard before. So in short, no, it does not make you bulky right away. It has the potential to, if you want to. You combine it with some dietary habits and then periodization, how you're going to improve that muscle mass. It can make you bulky, but it's not going to do it right away. So if you're afraid of working out because you think it's going to make you blow up right away, then you can kind of relax on that, because it takes a lot more work than just lifting a couple of dumbbells to blow up to Arnold Schwarzenegger size. So should I take supplements? This is something that floats around not just beginners, but also probably as you get more into a gym routine, you'll even have more questions. Should I take supplements? And this is a really important question because there's an entire market out there. GNC, their entire business model is providing supplements, as well as hundreds of other companies. Probably not important to take them at first. First, it's probably important to get into a routine of going to the gym, having some sort of exercise regimen, eating well, sleeping well, getting water, managing stress, all the things we talked about before. And then you can start considering supplements. So I put a couple down here that have been proven to be very safe. So protein powder, caffeine, which is found in pretty much all pre-workouts, and then creatine. Those are all have been shown to be very safe for the body. But a lot of these other ones that are out there, fat burners especially, whether or not they work is a little bit more up in the air. So my personal recommendation would be to focus on what you can control without supplements first, save a little bit of your money, and then as you become more experienced with that, you can kind of see what you like, do a little bit of research, see what works for you, and go from there. But probably don't need them right away, so it's not something to have in the forefront of your concern. So how to get started, so kind of just a beginner, how to get started. First, keep it simple, right? We don't have to, eat the entire apple in one bite. We can just take one bite of it, and then work our way from there. So find something that works for you and something that you can adhere to. So say, I'm just going to go to the gym for 1 day a week. It's pretty simple. It's not jumping in this program where I'm doing three days of this and 2 days of this, and now I have 1 day for this and all this kind of stuff. Just keep it simple, something that you can, that adhere to and get to the gym. And just finding your way in the gym, you'll start finding ways that you can exercise. Maybe walk in and say, oh, maybe I'll try out this machine, or I saw this exercise, maybe give this a shot. So keep it simple. But join a gym, right? Because like I just said, you can walk in, find a machine. Most machines will have little picture guidelines, so they'll show you how to use the machine. So pretty self-explanatory with those. Personal training is great for someone that really just doesn't know how to get started at all. They really need guidance, getting familiarized with the machines, and then having a sort of structured program. I mentioned that's personalized for them, so that's a very important factor as well for someone that, say, is recovering from an injury, or they have very specific goals in mind. Working with a personal trainer, even at those higher levels, and maybe even more so at those higher levels, can really help you exceed those goals and accomplish everything that you want to. So bang for your buck. I put that there because, unfortunately, the sad truth is a lot of gyms make money from people not going to the gym. That's one of the main sources. They rack in all these memberships, and then 70% of people don't even come. So it's a little bit of a waste in your wallet. But with a personal trainer, at least you're going there with someone that has a plan for you, and they're going to help you, get that bang for your buck. And online resources, especially in today's world, there's endless amounts out there on YouTube and Google, all these different websites that have some free programs and all the different research on how to implement something into a split or into just a certain day of exercise, or how to recover, whatever it is. Online resources are as bountiful as ever. So